I was sitting in my doctor's office on my 60th birthday, staring at the poster on the wall that showed the human heart, its arteries branching like a tree. So, I said, half joking, half serious, I want to live to 100. Think I've got a shot? Dr. Singh looked at me over his glasses, his expression caught somewhere between amusement and concern. That depends, he said slowly, on how honest you're willing to be about your past and how committed you are to changing your future. I shifted in my chair. Honesty wasn't difficult. The truth was written in the lines on my face and the heaviness in my body. For most of my adult life, I had lived like a man who thought tomorrow was guaranteed. I drank, too much, too often. Beer after work, wine with dinner, whiskey on weekends. My friends called it socializing. My liver probably called it sabotage. Exercise was a word I used in January resolutions but rarely practiced. My idea of movement was mowing the lawn or walking from the car to the bar. And yet, at 60, I wasn't ready to accept decline. I wanted one more great adventure, a stretch of 40 years to see my grandchildren grow, to stand on beaches I hadn't yet visited, to watch the world change and still be part of it. A century sounded bold, but why not aim high? Dr. Singh leaned forward. You've given your body some challenges, he said. Alcohol, inactivity, they leave a mark. But human beings are resilient. If you're serious, there are steps you can take now that may not erase the past but can rewrite the future. That night, I lay awake thinking about what he said. Could I undo decades of neglect, or had I already written the ending of my story? I decided I had to try. The first change was the hardest, cutting back on drinking. At first, I told myself I just limited, beer only on weekends, wine only with dinner. But moderation proved slippery. One glass became two, weekends bled into weekdays, so I stopped completely. The first weeks were brutal. My evenings felt empty without the familiar burn of alcohol, my sleep restless as my body adjusted. But then something strange happened. Mornings became easier. I woke without the fog, without the sluggishness that had clung to me for years. My skin brightened, my mood lifted. For the first time, I realized how much I'd been dragging myself through life under the weight of alcohol. Next came movement. At 60, I didn't dream of marathons or mountains. I just wanted to walk without my knees protesting, climb stairs without gasping. So I began slowly, the way you learn anything new. 10 minutes around the block each morning, then 15, then 30. My legs complained, my back ached, but I kept going. One day, I realized I could walk 2 miles without stopping. The pride I felt rivaled any accomplishment of my youth. Encouraged, I joined a fitness class at the community center. I was the oldest person in the room, my gray hair shining under fluorescent lights, but the instructor clapped for me as if I were 20. We lifted light weights, stretched muscles that had grown stiff, balanced on wobbling legs. I discovered strength I thought was gone. I discovered laughter, too, because I stumbled often, and instead of shame, I felt joy. Diet followed naturally. Years of greasy takeout and salty snacks had dulled my palate, but as I cooked more at home, I rediscovered flavor. Fresh vegetables sizzled in olive oil, grilled salmon flaked beneath my fork, berries tasted like candy. Food stopped being a filler and became fuel. My doctor's next blood test showed improvement in my cholesterol, my liver function, my blood pressure. Dr. Singh smiled for the first time in years. You're giving yourself a fighting chance, he said. But living to 100, I realized, wasn't only about numbers and lab results. It was about connection. I had lost touch with friends, let family calls go unanswered, chosen solitude too often. Loneliness, I read, could shorten life as surely as cigarettes. So I reached out. I joined a book club, reconnected with an old fishing buddy, called my sister every Sunday. Slowly, my calendar filled, not with obligations, but with life. And perhaps most importantly, I found purpose. Retirement loomed on the horizon, and the thought of endless empty days terrified me. So I volunteered at a local school, helping kids with reading. Their energy infected me. Their questions reminded me of wonder. Their laughter pulled me into the present. I wasn't just adding years to my life. I was adding life to my years. Of course, doubt still visited me. On quiet nights, I wondered if the damage was already done. Would the years of drinking catch up with me anyway? Would my heart give out, my liver falter, my knees crumble? Dr. Singh had been clear. I couldn't erase the past. But each day of movement, each glass of water instead of whiskey, Each moment of laughter with family was like laying bricks on a new foundation. Maybe I wouldn't reach 100, but I would reach as far as I could with strength and clarity. One morning, a year after my 60th birthday, I found myself standing on a hiking trail overlooking the ocean. The climb had been steep, my legs burned, but as the waves crashed below, I felt a surge of triumph. A year earlier, I couldn't have imagined this. Now I was living it. That's when I realized the truth. The goal wasn't really to live to 100. The goal was to live fully now, so that however many years remained, they would be rich, vibrant, and mine. Reaching a century would be a gift, but reaching tomorrow with energy, purpose, and love, that was enough reason to keep going. So will my years of drinking and inactivity be a problem? Yes, they left their mark, but they don't own me anymore. At 60, I've chosen a different path. I may never know if I'll see 100 candles on a cake, but I know this. I'll blow out every candle that comes with gratitude, strength, and the fierce joy of having fought for my life when it mattered most. Word count 103.